Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today is Monday, December 6th, 2021. And I got a piece of lint hanging off my hat there. Did I get it? Okay, it's gone. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Java Cafe. It is Mental Health Mondays. Welcome to the room. We're going to jump right in, as we do every Monday, to check in on our mental health status. Do me a favor, and as you're saying good morning to other Java fam members, Java vets and Java bros, drop your one word in the comments and let us know how you're doing this morning. It's a little gloomy out. I heard the rain this morning. We're coming into the holidays, and for some it's interesting. Corona is still real. The Omicron variant is very interesting. We have the first reported case in Massachusetts. The young lady did not do too bad, thank God, because she was vaccinated. And so we just want to keep that in mind as well. So there's a lot going on. And as we do, again, every Monday, we open this space and we curate conversations to talk about our mental wellness. And so do me a favor, hit that share button. Dr. Brandy Brooks is going to join us in the room in just a few moments. And we're going to check in, as we've been doing Monday afternoons, but we're going to get her perspective on mental wellness during the holidays when it comes to considering money we're spending. And yeah, don't go into debt this holiday and then you're stressed out and your mental health status the second Monday in January or the second Monday in February after you get that credit card bill is stressed with a dollar sign. Nah, don't do that. So we're going to talk with Dr. Brandy Brooks in just a few moments about that. But let's go in the cafe and say good morning, Props. Good morning. Good to see you in the room as always, bro. I appreciate you. Sharon Cornelius. And how was it so apropos this morning if the music stopped right when I was starting to say your name? Sharon, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Props is saying we're the only one dancing in the room. Sharon Cornelius, you guys were in here early. Appreciate both of you. Pastor Marion, good morning. Good to see you in the room. She's saying good morning to everyone else. And also Tony, my brother, is in the room. Happy Monday to you too. Sister Debbie, good morning. Good to see you in the room. So I'm wondering, Sister Debbie, your biscuit recipe, can I use that in peach cobbler? Things that make you go, Lasagna, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you. Naraki, beautiful. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. Tasha, good morning. I got to get that flyer up. I have it, but I have to set it up to go on here. Guys, don't forget this Sunday. Tasha put it in the comments there. This Sunday, at the time that St. John has service, there is a service for survivors of homicide. This Sunday, I will actually be in town, Tasha, so I will be there on Sunday. And that service is taking place this Sunday at St. John Missionary Baptist Church. So please put the info there, Tasha. I'll get the flyer set up for tomorrow. Props, Maza, good morning. Hey, folks, even though we're talking about not going into debt over the holidays, there is a jewelry line that our brother Props is involved with. And so if you get a chance, Props, put the click in there. If you want to get someone a nice gift for Christmas, you can afford it. You're not going into debt. And their love language, either platonic, family member, you want to get a goddaughter some earrings or her first set of diamond earrings, go check out Maza there. Props, you tell Paul that was a free plug. And hit a brother up for some media buys. I'm just messing. Pastor Marion is thankful this morning. Don't forget, guys, we need you to drop your one word this morning to let us know how you're doing. Daryl from Tennessee, good to see you in the room. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Tony said he is feeling grateful this morning. Jen is in the room. Good morning with her coffee, her Java as well. Dan Props is saying I can give out discounts to prevent my peoples from spending too much at Mazda. So if you would like to get something from Mazda, inbox Danny and he'll let you know what the code is. It's probably going to be something like JWJ and you get a certain discount, but you have to do it soon. So I'll get with Danny today and see if we can formalize that and let the Java fam know that they can get a discount from Mazda Select. Okay. Lasagna is letting us know she's feeling drained in spite of it all. I praise God. As many of you know that are part of the Java fam, Lasagna, her husband transitioned. She lost in physical presence, but it was heaven's gain in the person of David Hart. And so we definitely want to wrap our arms around her. If you've ever experienced death, the first of the holidays, the first of everything. And so, Lasagna, we are lifting you up. We are sending you virtual hugs and love and praying for you and the family and let you know that we love you. And we're surrounding virtually in some case, but know that there is a cadre, a group of people that are supporting you, that have you in mind, not only this time of year, but just period. So, Lasagna, we definitely appreciate you. Uh, Her cousin, Tasha, who has dealt with transition of her child in a different circumstance, but she has stepped into a space of advocacy. And so the healing service is for survivors of homicide awareness month. And if you could put the details there, Tasha, that would be great. Also, props. This is the website where you all can go and look at some of the items that are available to you, rings, tings, and other things, chains. There's a lot on there. And so Props works with that company. He is an executive in that company. So please go check that out. Heidi, good morning. Good to see you in the room. I'm so glad you're feeling refreshed. I am as well. I'm going to share my weekend with you once Dr. Brandy finishes up shortly. Kelly, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you in the room. Jen is sending hugs to Lasagna. Thank you so much. Heidi Ivy is as too. Also, Tasha is letting us know Sunday morning community healing worship service starts at 11 a.m. at St. John, my church, St. John Missionary Baptist Church, 230 Warren Street, Roxbury, Mass. Roxbury, Mass. Masks are required. Welcome to bring a picture of your loved one who was lost to homicide. All right. So definitely check that out on Sunday. Meet me there at 11 a.m. I will definitely be there. Sharon Cornelius is praying as well. Pastor Ron Odom is in the room. And he feels complete in God. And this is another wonderful advocate who experienced a transition of his child via homicide. And he, like Tasha, has stepped in and taken that situation and have become advocates. They are definitely moving in the space of Micah 6:8, fighting for social justice. So we appreciate, can we applaud both of them in the comments there? We definitely appreciate them. Stan, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you, brother. And he is also sending love for Lasagna as well. Ma, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you in the room. Rena, good morning. Good to see you in the room as well. Oh, Tasha is Lasagna's sister. Sorry. The two sisters are definitely someone that are a part of the Java Cafe, and we appreciate both of them. Lasagna may not be out there like advocating in the same space as Tasha, but she does support and she does have a voice for community. So definitely I want to clarify that they are sisters. I'm getting ready to get in trouble. Here we go. Here we go. My sister Tamisha is in the room as well. Jimmy and so we have a new word, y'all. Javies, not Javettes, not Java Bros, but Javies. Okay, Misha. We'll leave that there. I don't know where Dr. Brandy is. Evelyn is in the. I need to talk to you because I caught the vision, Jesus. Some of these stores opening up around here, they have no fresh food. And so we definitely, as we said in inbox, we definitely need to connect early part of the year. I just want to make sure that Dr. Brandy is all set to get in the room. So let's just double check with her to make sure she's good. and she should be in just a couple of seconds. Sure as it's almost that. But she's going to come in a couple of seconds. And Tasha is saying morning blessings to my mom, Mama Java as well, and Evelyn. Definitely, because these corner stores just opening up is just crazy. So listen, Props is letting us know if you would like to go to the website, mazzaselect.com, MAZZASELECT.com. This is definitely a high end. It's definitely not your Zales or anything like that. This is definitely a high end jewelry company that Props again is an executive, a part of that executive team there. And so today, I don't know how long he's going to do this, but if you would like to go and purchase some items from there, you will be able to do so by using the code 10JWJ. You save 10% instantly on Mazza.com. And so until New Year's Eve, Prop just told me. So from now after Christmas, we appreciate you, bro. So now until after Christmas, you have a 10% discount at Mazza Select. So please go and check out that website. Again, they're reasonable for the quality of the work you're getting, but then also if you can't afford it, don't be out there trying to stay up with the Joneses and you find yourself in debt. So I just also wanted to share a couple of announcements with you. Just please remember that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we are going to continue the discussion. This is definitely a space where we talk about mental health. And so tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we're continuing with our partnership, Your Healthy Java, your community health platform. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., I am not even going to try to she is known at MGH as Ronke. And she's going to be in the room talking from a mental health status. And also Nietzsche, Dr. Nietzsche Kante is coming into the room as well. I need to start asking guests if I don't know to phonetically spell their names, because I want to honor, especially you see there's some heritage there. But they will be in the room with us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And these are behavioral health clinicians from the Massachusetts General Hospital. And we're going to have a real conversation about mental health in the holidays. Dr. Brandy is going to introduce it today to some extent, but that's taking place tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And then on Wednesday, I know there's a lot of jokes about it and people are calling it the Omarion, but the Omicron variant is very real. And as you all know, our Mayor Michelle Wu appointed Dr. Bisola Ojakutu, who is an MD and has her master's in public health. She is the new executive director of the Boston Public Health Commission. And so she is coming in to the Java Cafe on Wednesday. And please note, that session begins at 9:30 a.m. We will not be here at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. We will be here at 9:30. That may change if another guest comes in or reaches out, or I finagle something for 9 a.m. But I also know you all usually start dropping out about 9:45. So at 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, we're going to get an update about the variant in Boston. We're going to get an update about vaccinations. We're going to get an update from the newly appointed executive director at the Boston Public Health Commission. And also, we are coming back on Saturday, December 18th. Now, please note the time at 4 p.m. We are working with the staff and the leadership at the Underground Cafe to have our next in-person Java Cafe, 4 p.m. Saturday, December 18th. So save that date. We're coming back together. Now, this is as long as we're still able to come together. We practice precautions. At the last one, if you were not eating or drinking, you were asked to wear your mask. And so we want to keep that in mind. That is a couple of weeks away. We hope that things stay or get better than where they are. I had a chance to talk to Chief Hooley from the Boston Public Health Commission the other night, and we were just checking in around, stats and stats rather, of, if we get to a certain positivity rate, public health officials are like, we need to start implementing some restrictions. And so how can we stop this not Omicron variant of the virus? There is something that we can do to ensure that we keep our people as healthy as possible. And so please consider making sure you have all of the correct information when it comes to the vaccine. Please make sure you have all of the information about the booster. The vaccine is now available to pediatric patients. On December 21st, we have a pediatrician coming in from Massachusetts General Hospital. We purposely waited until that time, one, because we presume a lot of young people will go get their vaccination during the vacation. And also, we wanted to ensure we had as much information, updated research that they may have. At the time we planned this, Omicron was not in existence. Well, we weren't aware of it. And so December 21st, we're going to talk to a pediatrician about how you can rather, Dr. Brandy just jumped in, so it threw me off a little bit. We're going to talk to this pediatrician about everything that's going on with the vaccination when it comes to our children. But for our adults, please consider this.
Well, COVID-19 has deeply hurt our community. I recognize that we needed to heal, healing spiritually, healing emotionally, healing physically. That's why we knew we needed a vaccination clinic at 12th Baptist Church.
I just really had a lot of initial hesitation. From hesitation to education is how I got to a point of like being more hopeful. When I decided to get the vaccination, I really wanted to come here because I knew we had a site.
I was one of the first people when I was afforded the opportunity to be vaccinated, to be an example myself.
The vaccination will definitely change life. I want to get back to a life where I can be around my family and friends.
With every vaccination, we're one step closer to hope.
Join us, get vaccinated.
Have hope.
So that is definitely a way that we can help stop this variant. As you see, my guest is in the room this morning. Good morning, Dr. Brandy. How are you this morning? Good to see you in the room. Good to see you in the room.
Hey, James. Hey, Java fam. It's an echo.
It is a slight echo, but I think you're good. Say something else. A, B, C, D. Oh, you say something.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
You're good. I was talking to Dr. Brandy on Friday. We're gonna get her crisp and clear very
James,
soon.
You will be happy to hear. I bought over the weekend. I bought a plug, like to actually do hardwire, and I bought an extender. Like,
hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Since we got all these, listen, we talked about laughter on Friday. Please make sure you go check that out on Dee Dee's Cry page. But Dr. Brandy, good morning. Good to see you in the room. It's a little gloomy out. I think it stopped raining. What is your word for this morning? While you tell us, I'm going to go check and see if anyone else put words as well.
Hey, everybody. I see some comments coming in. My word for today is, I'm gonna borrow a word you use a lot, percolating. That's my word for today.
And she comes with the cup. Yep. You got to do it for the branding. For the branding,
things are percolating. There is some percolation going on. Like I'm gonna use it as a noun, a verb, an adverb. Adjective. So the adjective, all of it, a preposition. But yeah, so things are percolating. That's how I feel in this moment, in this space, and as we go into the end of the year.
Okay. And so we talked, a little bit offline before we got on this morning. And this is actually something we talk about in the afternoon with Naisha, who Naisha Deed of Pure Spark, and also Jelani of Ambition to the City. And we've been setting this cadence around the correlation between mental health and the holidays and not overspending. And so, Dr. Brandy, what is it that you would like to share in reference to, 6 to 8 weeks after Christmas to ensure that the word that we put on that Monday is not stressed with a line?
Yes. No, I just saw a comment that said Dr. Brandy about to act up.
Yes, she is. So we're going to let her go. Go ahead.
So my message today.
She said my message. Oh, Jesus.
My message, my theme, my topic for today is $1. Okay. Now it's $1. So now y'all know I always got a story that go with anything I talk about. So I'm going to take you back a couple of years. And I am 16. My mom sits us down as a family.
Wait. You said a couple of years. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, Black don't crack. Stop, James. Stop. I rebuke that. Okay. Stop. Anyways, so I'm 16 years old. My mom is sitting us down because she is about to make a big family decision and she wanted to get our input. So she sits us down and she says, okay, I'm going to go out with your uncle and I'm going to purchase a car for you girls. At that time, my brother was not with us. But she's like, I'm going to purchase a car for you girls. And we were like, oh, okay. And she was like, but I need you to understand, when I purchase this vehicle, it is not for fun. It's not for play. And the only thing, literally the only thing I'm paying for is your insurance. If you need gas, you need to figure out a way to pay it. Mm-hmm. If anything breaks, you need to figure out a way to pay it. And so my sister and I, we just excited we might be getting a car. We didn't know what kind of car. We didn't know what it looked like. We didn't care. We were like, yeah, okay, of course, Mom. We will pay for it. Yeah, no problem. So that was what she said the agreement was. We pay for everything except for the insurance, because where we live, there was no public transportation like that. Yeah. So she's like, okay, now y'all gonna drive yourself to school. You're gonna learn, whatever. So like a week or so later, she comes back with a car. It's a manual shift. I don't know how to drive manual, but I'm gonna figure it out. And so I did. And thankfully, my uncle was patient enough to teach me. My mom, not so much. But where we get to the dollar is, so now we're into the school year. And I'm driving my sister and I to school, to all our practices, to everything like that. Well, one day, after I believe it was basketball practice, we are driving back home. And it was October, but it was still nice, you know. In Georgia, the sun was shining, all that good stuff. And so we're driving back. Now I want y'all to picture this. My mom got us, and I say us because my sister and I used it interchangeably, especially when she got older. She got us a Subaru Justy, 2-door hatchback, right? The car was a straight up lemon, but it's what your first car should be, right? This is what it was. And what I did when I first got the car, I used up all my savings and put in a 6 CD changer, y'all. And it was, I kid you not, but it was the 6 CD changer that goes in the trunk, right? So it's one of those ones that's on the trunk, and then you have the little thing, you know, in your dash that you press to, you know, skip CDs. But that was the worst decision ever for a manual shift car.
Where you going? I see where you're going.
Every bump I would hit, CD skip. Like, I mean, all my CDs were destroyed. But I was so proud of it. I used all my money, right? All my money. So I have no savings. Now, what would happen, because I used all my money on a 6 CD changer that cost more than the car, literally, my sister and I, when we would get up in the morning to go to school, my mom by that time had already gone to work. When we would get up and go to school, we would be counting pennies, nickels, dimes, so that we could get enough gas. Because we knew if we could somehow cobble together $1, we could get to and from school for at least 2 days. Because at that time, gas was that much. So $1, y'all, $1. And I mean, it was,
$1 would have got you a gallon.
It would have got a gallon. At that time, I think it was 88 cents. So we had some to spare. So again, we're driving home from school after practice. It's nice out. And so I remember it like it was yesterday. I had I think it was the Whitney Houston CD, right? The greatest hits and the new songs. I think we were listening to Heartbreak Hotel. And so what we decided to do was, it's a nice day. We're going to crank. Again, it's a Subaru Justy. We crank open the sunroof because we feeling ourselves. And so we driving down the road. Woo, Heartbreak Hotel. It's just, y'all, the sunroof flew off.
The entire roof?
The entire sunroof. It was a crank, James. So the sunroof and the crank flew off the car, y'all. And so I'm looking at my sister's looking at me. We had a decision to make. So I turn around and we go back to the ditch. We pick up that sunroof. We drive home, right? We just like try to attach it, whatever. And we drive home. later on that evening, Mom gets home and we're like, Mom, the sunroof broke. What we gonna do? She like, we parlez-vous français? We like, this your car. I told you what was gonna happen. She was like, you gotta pay for it. Y'all gotta pay for it. Okay. So again, I spent all my money on the 6 CD changer. So literally for the rest of that year, until I got a job that summer, here's what we did. We took that sunroof, we attached some heavy duty, y'all, some heavy duty trash bags to it. We put the trash bag on the top. So we reattached the sunroof because thankfully it didn't break. It didn't shatter because it was, old school bomb-proof car. So we put the sunroof back on the car, attached, some heavy duty plastic bags on the outside. So on the top of the car and on the inside.
I'm getting the whole visual.
And so we typed it. We had, okay, so here's the glass layer of heavy duty trash bag. Then we took some duct tape.
I knew he was going to say duct tape.
And we taped around. Sorry, we taped around the outside and the inside. And what we did was, that was our sunroof. So we couldn't open it up for the rest of the year. And because, we tinted the sunroof, Pop. What we did was, because that ain't stop no rain, y'all. But we still had to get to school, so we took trash bags and covered up the seats. So those were our seat covers for the rest of the year. So I start with this story, this $1, because that was a valuable lesson for me.
Very valuable
in terms of money. Because again, I had no concept of it before then. Because before then, it was like, oh, we needed something for school. Mom would somehow manifest it, or our aunties, uncles, fathers, they would work together to come up with the funds. So this was the first time my sister and I were responsible. And, there's some other stuff that happened too that I ended up having to get a summer job for, like, running into the garage in the daggone manual, because, I was learning. So I say the value of $1, because that was a valuable lesson of getting rained on pretty much for half a year and being cold, because y'all know it ain't stopped no air. And even though Georgia is warmer, it still get cold. Right. So
what's up, props? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So it was a valuable lesson with respect to $1. And so I think it's important this time of the year for us to have a conversation about money in a different way, in terms of, because this is the time of the year that is about giving and money going out. Like, charities, gifts, all those things, going to celebrations. Money is going out, but do we have enough coming in to replace what is going out? One thing I've learned in this kind of financial literacy journey that I've been on the last couple of years is there are typically 4 ways that people obtain money for. You do it through, in terms of not having to work for your 9 to 5. Marion, budgeting is part of it, but it extends beyond there, because you can budget your whole life and only have enough to sustain. Like, so I'm talking about how can we get to not just budgeting, but moving to the next level of having extra, not a lot, but just a little bit.
As the church folks would say, the overflow.
The overflow, if you will. Okay. But there are 4 ways. There are 4 ways. Is number 1, stocks, bonds, some type of investment. Number 2, real estate.
Yep.
3, business, starting your own business. And 4th is not one that people often talk about, but it is very real, is life insurance. Because life insurance payouts are lump sums and they are not taxable in most cases. And so when we're talking about this, one thing I realized, again, in my own financial journey was I either had to make more or spend less. Period.
And that is the decision. That is the decision that a lot of people are facing. Yep.
Yeah. And the thing is in our community, for sure, we have lack of access. You have the institutional historical barriers, which we know to be true, redlining, and, history of just not having access. And also, with Tulsa, our communities where we were flourishing just being destroyed. So we have that. But then we have true anxiety around money. Right now in the United States, the majority of people, no matter where you live, who you are, who your ancestors were, the majority of people right now, in this moment, if you had a $500 emergency, $500, that would put you in financial dire straits. An additional $500 expense. Right. And so think about it. This time of the year, there's this, I won't say a pressure, but there's a lot of consumerism.
You can say pressure.
Where folks overspend. That's just what happens. And it's coupled with us already being trillions of dollars in debt, personal debt.
Yep.
Right. And so we are overspending, we're in debt, and we're trying to maximize our budget and save and do these other things. And so that's why the holidays can be precarious for financial reasons. And that's why as soon as January hits, folks are like, ooh, where's my W-9? Where's it at? I got to file for my taxes because I'm just keeping it real. Like,
it is.
I need that.
Look, they're counting up their kids for the child income tax credit. I'm not going to
Yeah. Or some people borrowing kids. But Sharon, one of the things is it goes,
I've had a couple of kids on layaway in the past. Go ahead. Sorry.
But it does go to, in terms of thinking about how do we do this and how do we do it constructively and how do we work as a community to get there, right?
Yeah.
In terms of doing this, we shouldn't have to use GoFundMes. Like GoFundMes are great. GoFundMes are awesome, but we have to think about this. And even when it comes to, when we're talking about insurance, yes.
Sharon.
I'm just saying.
It's true. That is so loaded. It's true. Unexpected, horrific, child. And this goes into a whole nother combo because I used to tell I used to put out this thing on social media and just say it in the community before we really got on social media. If you know Pookie's in the game, you need to get a life insurance policy because you don't want to be faced with the stress of getting them together, if anything happens. And so,
you need to get But James, you need to get a life insurance policy, whether it's Pookie, Uncle.
I'm just saying what I was talking about.
And the thing people got to realize about life insurance policies is that it's not always, depending on the policy, most of them, it takes 1 to 2 months to get your payout. So you do need funds to bury your loved one. That's because right. You don't get that payout automatically. If you go through the funeral parlor, you may get it a little bit quicker in terms of getting the death certificate so that you can file the paperwork. Again, I've done a deep dive on all of this and unfortunately had family experiences that let me know this. But again, this is something we have to talk about is how do we prepare? If we can't prepare for our generation, how do we prepare the next generation? How do we go from being working class to rich to wealthy, right? And the difference is working class, according to a lot of articles and news right now, is basically the majority of us in the United States. And what I mean by that is the money we get from our job is our sole source of income. So we are working class. You can classify middle class, upper, but you work to get your funds. Now, the difference with working class to what some articles are calling rich versus wealthy is that the rich are still consumers, but they have a few extra dollars on the side, right? So they've been able to amass a few dollars. Maybe they invested, maybe they do that. Wealthy, though, is when you get to a level where your kids, the kids of those kids, the kids of those kids will always have money. Always.
Generational.
Even if they just squander it. So how do we get to talking about generational wealth? And so that's why I said the 4 things, the 4 ways to amass generational wealth.
Wrap them up one more time before we name them one more time before.
So generational wealth. You have stocks, bonds, big investments in the market. Okay. We're talking about, depending on the day, you can have upwards of $1 trillion going through the market, people buying, selling. So stocks, bonds, and that's not limited to just equities, like your general equities, like Amazon, etc. I also include crypto in that as well. And if you don't know about crypto, please hit me up.
NFT space, because we're getting ready to segment on that.
Crypto, NFTs, and one that I'm really kind of deep diving in right now is virtual metaverse and virtual
NFTs. People are out there literally purchasing
virtual land. Yeah. But it's not crazy, because think about it. It's not crazy
because my only thing is, and Dr. Brandy, we got to get ready to wrap up. My only thing is, between the xenobots that you saw the article, you're a scientist, physician scientist in behavioral health, or the xenobots are reproducing in ways that the animals and plants don't, and we don't. And then you got all these robots, and so I've never been a big conspiracy theorist. This is the beginning of the Matrix.
It definitely presents the beginning of the Matrix type conversations and ethical concerns for sure. And it is something we need to have our pulse on. One of the things I've been reading about is when we get to robotic beings replacing human beings, should there be taxation on that? So if a company replaces a living human with a robot, should they still be taxed in terms of, because again, you think about how we get our money and our financial base is, taxes. So should there still be some type of, monetary incentive to keeping a human being? So so it comes to this simple is, should we enact laws through Congress and other means whereby if you want to replace human with robot, you pay more? And we make it to a point where it's so exorbitant that companies think twice, or only select companies can do it. It's kind of like what Chris Rock said back in the day in one of his comedy specials. He said, you want to get rid of crime? Here's what you do. Taking away guns, maybe. But he said, you know what? How about you make the price of a bullet $5,000, $10,000, $20,000? So you make the ammunition expensive.
Yep.
And you make it cost.
Hold on. We got maybe Prop signed off for a minute, but Props is about to really go in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Again, that was an example he used in that type of context. But this issue of money is one that I've really been focused on, because again, it's not just this time of year, but all times of year, because our community as a whole, when it comes to money, and it was mentioned during the panelists, but I'd already kind of read about that in terms of how long money cycles through our community, being 6, 8 hours, 10 hours, meaning we get it,
and it's gone.
And our community is one of the few, and you could just travel around Boston, in that our community has more check cashing places than banks,
and
right?
Financial advisors.
Yeah, but that's because about 46 to 50% of our community is unbanked or underbanked. And there are reasons for that. Again, institutional, historical, and other reasons. But we have got to have these conversations, because again, health is wealth is health. So we, and especially this season is, we've got to talk about this. And so, what I've been doing just with family and friends, I started a Slack group. We call ourselves the penny pinchers, but we're just trying to share information. Yep, the penny pinchers. One thing my family would tell you is that I like stuff, but I am economically wise, or as some people would say, cheap.
But I ain't gonna mess with it. We'll just say frugal,
cheap.
Listen, everyone, we gotta this is why we've been doing in the afternoon, we've been doing the Black mental wealth, because I learned so much this weekend from Wallow being there. There was the young man, Marty, from Atlanta. Thank God I'm going to get ready to connect with him when I go down there. And there is just a whole mentality. And when you started in the beginning, you were talking about the fact that you hadn't been used to budgeting and having to do things. And so there's so much to unpack. So let's do part 2 of this next week. And then we'll get into the end of the year and like forecasting, and everybody's doing their vision boards and all that. Maybe we can talk about that. But Dr. Brandy, wrap this up real quick, and I'm gonna get y'all know Dr. Brandy a preacher, so I'm gonna give her.
Oh no. Belinda asked, can she join Penny Pinchers? Is it a Facebook group? It's not a Facebook. It is a Slack group. So yeah, and it's open, it's free, there's no charge or anything. We're just sharing ideas, like we're mainly focused on stocks, investing, crypto, and as well, how do you buy into companies pre-IPO? So how would you be able to buy into, let's say, a Tesla before it even hit the market? So we have those conversations because, again, it's important. If we don't do it now, we don't have these conversations now, that we have it, for our future. And it takes intentionality and it takes transparency. If we're going to be real about our mental health, we're going to be real about our spiritual health. Where are we in terms of our spirit? If we're going to be real about our physical health, as we go into the end of the year, like, ooh, my heart don't feel the same. We need to be just as real about our finances. And we need to have a come to the altar moment. Really, we do need to have a come to altar moment.
It's real, Dr. Brandy. And I hate to interrupt, but
yeah, I know you got time. But if you're spending more than you bring in, there needs to be a conversation, because until you get that under control, the budget versus the savings versus how much do I have versus how much is going out, nothing else. We can't have a conversation about investing or real estate until that conversation happens. And you have to have it with you and your family around that, and particularly around this time of year. Do you really need that name brand? Do you really need the PlayStation 5? Do you really?
And which most of them wind up playing with the darn box more than a toy. No, Dr. Brandy, not to make light and having a wrap up, but the other piece is that I was wondering why, there was a couple of things that contributed to me changing the name. But when I landed at Black mental wealth, Black mental health, Black money and all that, but we miss oftentimes the correlation of the not the just mental health of stresses when we're under, but there is a mentality approach. There is a lens in which we don't always do well as a community at viewing our finances, at saving, at life insurance, at some folks keep it 100. Car insurance. I remember driving around for months talking about Lord Jesus. And when somebody almost hit me, it's not that I'm going to get hurt. No, I don't have any insurance and you better be careful. So it is a mentality that we need to be able to get ready to shift coming out this pandemic with all the robotics and stuff. And even if all that stuff was good, no concerns about, all the stuff the Matrix brought up in the metaverse and with NFTs and whatnot, if we're not careful, guess who once again is going to be in the background, not prospering?
We're going to be left out. We're gonna be left out. And I mean, it's happening to some extent right now with respect to the marijuana industry. You
We
know,
talked about, you was
it
there. Yep.
yeah, we've been criminalized for it, right?
Hold on.
And I see Daniel.
Daniel.
But it's important. It's like, so we need to get to the forefront of this. We need to understand it. And I saw somebody talk about, I want to learn about Bitcoin and crypto.
We're
Please,
doing
please,
it.
please hit me up.
Hit
On,
Dr. Brandy, but we're
yeah,
going
hit
to
me
do
up
a
on
special one
Facebook,
as
and
well.
they're gonna talk about it too. But it's something. I mean, oh my goodness, like I could talk about this forever because it's important, right? And you're driving in Boston, yep. But yeah, but I'm just gonna wrap up and say this is that again, we really want to go from this conversation of like our money being funny. I mean, I used that even last week. I was like, dang, turkey cost this much? I mean,
listen,
like that's how much cheese costs. Jesus.
But Dr. Brandy, I don't want to get too deep, but Belinda brought it out earlier. We need to listen. The economy, the price of food, the boxes that used to be this big and this wide are now this big and this narrow. This is why it's important we get ready to look at urban farming. This is Dr. Brandy, you done got me some
inflation. But I was just going to end with, we need to go from our money being funny to our stacks being packed. Okay. And how can we do it as a community? How can we practice? How can we practice individual and collective? How can we have cooperative economics, right? As a community, because that's how money is able to cycle through. You know, Daniel talks about this all the time. How do we shop Black, buy Black, think Black, and really support our community? And this is one way is we have got to have these honest, open conversations about what we don't know. And if you don't know, that's fine. There are folks out there who do. I don't know all the stuff to know, so I reach out to people smarter than me. But it's important because again, we're going to start the new year and there are things are coming and things afoot in terms of our economy.
Access to these NFTs, food prices, and the thing is with this Americana and whatnot, we just, you know, they're comparing it to the Delta, and we know what the Delta did and all of that. And so it even more than COVID, there was everything that you done got me started. There was everything that was in place, all the systemic racism and all the other stuff before the pandemic happened. The pandemic happened, exacerbated a lot, and yet where are we? Still as a people. Natasha's in the room. That came up the other night. There was some conversation, and shout out, I have to say this to my good friend and brother, shout out to Kurt Fonste, I think, for the Dropout Summit. And so much of Tasha, am I lying? So much of what you said here today was the mentality that Wallow and others said that we need to start, because we can do well individually. And that's when you get to, as Pastor Marion said, the Joneses. And sometimes our wonderful Black elitists from which they came, and they don't reach back. They don't take the skill set that they pick up in this place, and they don't ensure that others come up with them.
Yeah. So y'all, I do have a group. It's penny pinching investing on Slack, and everybody can join. It's not, you know, some exclusive thing, you know, it's free, whatever. We just share ideas, but it's important that we not just continue to have conversations. We need to be intentional about our actions, because if we're talking about budgeting, we're talking about savings. There are applications out there. There are videos out there. We need to stop having conversations. We've been having conversations. I'm tired of talking, right? And so I wanted to put things in action. Slack is an app. It's similar to Discord. It's a messaging application, but just kind of like the Google of messaging applications. You know, you can share files, do Zooms, all that good stuff. But yeah, one of the things is we have to stop talking about it, because if all we do is give lip service, we will never get to the point of where we are actually doing. And so one of the things that I did with starting this group literally during the pandemic was I was like, you know what? I'm tired of us talking about it. Let's create a space where we are sharing and actively saying, here's what we are doing. Here is what we are buying. Here's where you can. Here is how you can, right? So why do you want to do a 529 college plan for your child versus an annuity plan? Which one is better? Which one do the wealthy do? Which one do the rich do? Right? So and we have people in the group that have been in these spaces and you do these things. So we really have to be intentional about this. Stop talking about it. And I feel like it should be free information. Sometimes in our community, we'd be like, ooh, I got information. And if you want it, you got to pay me.
No. Here's a balance. Because
I understand that.
Our Black financial advisors brought it up this weekend and they put little nuggets out. But let's take it back to the word. A workman is worthy of their hire. And Dr. Brandy, we really got to.
I gotta go.
I'll surmise it as this. Taking it back to the word, the Bible says that money answereth all things. Got an issue, health disparities, racism. If you look at the foundation of things that are either promoting the inequity, or if you look at ways that we can promote and build more equity, it comes to one thing: money, capitalism. And let me also clarify this: money itself is not evil. The scripture says the love of money is evil, not money itself, but the love of. And with that, Dr. Brandy, I think we can get ready to. There we go, right there. Well, church yell. Yeah. Evelyn, it was so wonderful that you were in here today, because I was walking past that store yesterday. Actually, I've walked past it a few times and I'm like, I got to reach out to her. Timing is everything, sis. Timing is everything. It's the love of it. Pastor Marion said, y'all, see, here we go. Especially when using the title consultant. Y'all, this was good. Yeah. Dr. Brandy, this is not what we go through today.
You do need people giving free nuggets as well as those, selling to be profitable. But here's the problem that I see is that a lot of times you selling me something, but you ain't there. Sell me something, like be the example that you telling me. Right. So if you're telling me you can get to millions, you can get to, I want to see that in your transactions and your receipts. So that's where I think it gets to the shit, consulting.
Tell mother, hey, because she got a whole curriculum. It's faith-based, but she got a whole curriculum about finances. She told us about a couple of Saturdays ago.
We're gonna do a part 2, y'all. We'll do a part 2. I'll call it, since this one was $1, we'll move up to $5.
$5. Listen, why don't you call it flip your money? No, sir. We what you call it? We don't want to give the wrong wrong
connotation.
Yeah. You can flip houses. Flipping ain't just about the. Dr. Brandy, it's so wonderful to have you in the room. I'm gonna have to call Naisha and Jelani and say, hey, y'all need to listen to Dr. Brandy's this morning, and maybe we pick up a little bit on that. But this is Latasha said, let her go get the Slack app.
Yeah. Next week I'll have the link. Next week I'll include the link because I just talk about it today. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Brandy, thank you so much. Again, I cannot say how much it was. And I'm steady texting her. We got to wrap up because they be dropping out at 9:40 and whatnot. Y'all done stayed in here. Numbers keep popping up. So this is obviously something that, hold on. Look at props.
Hey, that's the name of the show. Hustle, hustle, hard. we need to have a theme song. Hustle, hustle, hard. Yeah.
And she said, yeah, because she felt it. Dr. Brandy, get off my screen, Jesus.
Hey,
I love you.
Stacks being packed.
No, but what's the Stacks being packed? They went in about this. Oh my God, today. Listen.
Go from money being funny to Stacks being packed, y'all. Let's do it.
Dr. Brandy, we were talking about a workman is worthy of his hire. I can guarantee you that somewhere in Daniel's lyrics, you're going to hear the term Stacks being packed. He was supposed to perform last Saturday. It was so much.
Can I get a little writing credit? Can I oh my God, I'll be a rap artist? Are you kidding? What? Oh.
Let's see you rap. Say it again. Stacks being what?
Stacks being packed, y'all. Stacks being packed. Stacks being packed, y'all. Stacks being packed. My money ain't funny. My stacks is packed. Yeah.
Dr. Brandy, see, this is why I'd be fussing at you about the signal, because if that screen was crisp, I would have clipped it. I still might clip it out because that can be a 15-second reel all in itself. Lord Jesus, you got me stuttering. Listen, guys, we got to get off of here. Today was definitely dope. We didn't plan to go this deep, and so that's how I know it was meant for us as a community to hear this. The individual, hold on, DL says 7%. He gonna give you 7% of credit.
Hey, that's like a real estate. Hey, that's what an agent makes when they sell your house. So,
Did you look what he said? It's a strip club. All right, we're gonna get off.
You know what? This is not Java After Dark.
We're going to talk about that later because some of the stuff I heard this weekend, Jesus. All right, folks, we're going to get ready to wrap up. Dr. Brandy, thank you. I'm going to go make a couple of announcements, and we'll see you on Friday at 5 on Dee Dee's Cry, but we'll see you back here in the Java Cafe. Or I might need to talk to you about, because I haven't decided what the 18th is going to cover. There's a demand to do a second panel around the cannabis industry. And then I also want to start having a conversation about mentality. Around just doing better, our approach to things, how we respond to things and whatnot. So I'll definitely, are you around the 18th or you going home?
I'll still be around on the 18th.
All right. Yeah. We'll talk. All right, Dr. Brandy, thank you. Appreciate you. Today was today. Yeah, we've had some good sessions, but this one, sis, yeah, this was it.
Come back for $5 next week, y'all.
$5. Hustle with Jimmy. Black mental wealth, whatever you want to call it. Put up all them hashtags. Thank you, Dr. Brandy. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Listen, that right there, that was dope. But these are the convos that we attempt to curate in these spaces because it all of you now. If you weren't before, ever since this weekend, shout out to Kurt. I was thinking about it before, but hearing Wallow, Jeff from JP Morgan Chase, Sabrina from Chase Bank, hearing them talk about this was a lot of affirmation of where my mind has been. And I'll be transparent with y'all. We get scared when it comes to thinking about investment because that poverty mentality and validity to our experiences, we have a reserve. We think we always got to keep some money under the mattress. And our planning to cover emergencies is so bombarded by our fiscal trauma. I just felt that thing. Our fiscal trauma as a people is preventing us from healing in the fiscal financial space by design. Some of it by design and conditioning, and when there are opportunities to change your mind, your money mentality, to look at ways of building your Black mental wealth, we shy away from it. So we have to really begin. The old church song, elevate your mind. Let's go higher. If you would like to continue the conversation around Black mental wealth, please join me today at 1 p.m. I don't have the flyer ready. I was trying to get it ready. And it ain't ready. Please join me today at 1 p.m. We're going to continue this conversation with Naisha Deed of Pure Spark. She was part of the conference this weekend. And so, we were pounding and she was connecting people with me for the show and stuff. And she's making her own connections. And Jelani Lynch is also coming from Ambition of the City. And we're going to continue this conversation around Black mental wealth, around honest hustles. And we need to have 3, 4, 5 streams of income. So with that being said, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., through our partnership with the Massachusetts General Hospital, we are presenting our fourth episode of Your Healthy Java. And being healthy ain't just about let me stick to the announcement. When I tell y'all that Dr. Brandy done started something, Bishop Bragg used to say, there's something about good preaching, or something about the way the preacher preaches. If they do bad, they make you want to get up and preach. But if they do well, they make you want to get up and preach too, because Dr. Brandy was off the hook today. So tomorrow morning, we're continuing in the vein of mental health. This is more of a clinical approach to mental health in the holidays. And we have our guest from Massachusetts General Hospital that will join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. Ronke and also Dr. Kate will be a part of, actually Dr. Peterson, let me get that right. Dr. Peterson and Dr. Kante will be in the room with us to talk about mental health during the holidays. And these are world-class behavioral health clinicians. And so please consider coming in tomorrow at 9 a.m. And also don't forget on Wednesday, all these wonderful Black queens in the medical scientific industry is just dope. these two here, this one here. Our new executive director of the Boston Public Health Commission will be with us on Wednesday. Note, 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. So please adjust your alarms or notifications to come in at 9:30. I will let you know if things change. Don't forget, on the 18th, we're going to continue this conversation and more, talk about the cannabis industry and Black spaces in Boston. We will come back together on December 18th at 4 p.m. and we need to see you in the room. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Again, shout out to Kurt and the Dropout Summit. That thing this weekend challenged me on so many levels. And so when I'm challenged like that, it displays itself in this space. And so, Kurt, on behalf of the Java with Jimmy fam, thank you, brother. We definitely appreciate you. All right, we're going to get ready to close out. Belinda, Shaq, Michael Strahan, James Brown, others examples of diverse income. Evelyn, this was great. Call me when you can. Evelyn, just make sure I have your number in the inbox. And see, timing is everything. Timing is everything. Elder, we need to. I felt that thing for the first time this morning. We got financial trauma, fiscal trauma. And let's talk about the fact too that sometimes we've been hustled and scammed by our own people. I'm getting off of here because y'all going to get, oh my God, y'all going to get me in some stuff. Natasha is real. Forget the systemic and where it comes from sometimes from folks lighter than me. What about people my level of melanin and darker? And all in between across the spectrum, hustling and all right. Y'all have a wonderful day. Props, you making some points here, but is it? Because we've had this conversation before. Is big. So there are two types of media. There's the movies, television shows. There was a conversation some years ago. Is music influencing that level, or are the movies and the big screen influencing music? There's a whole, but see, props, this thing, Jesus Lord, this thing here around the music and the I'm telling my age now, the crystal and the diamonds and all that other stuff. Have it, enjoy wonderful things. If you can afford it, lavish yourself and all this wonderful stuff. But what we do as a people, as Pastor Marion said earlier, we try to live up with the Joneses and we ain't even on their block. All right, I got to get off of here. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll see you at 1 p.m. We got to do better. If we do not do better now, this ain't even just about us and our generation. This is about those that are after us. Do you not know that these young people coming up right now are coming up in this George Floyd period where they feel empowered, but they're also coming up in this world pandemic. They're also coming up in a state of inflation. They're also coming up in a state of possibly food being very interesting. We need to ensure that we do. Will it change this generation? I'm not exactly sure, but we need to work damn well hard to make sure. I'm getting off of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you today at 1 p.m. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.